Maybe you've seen this. A weatherman, a meteorologist on the local news, recently quit. Over what? Well, something I experienced for about 7 years, and that would be threats from right wing lunatics, terrorists, and other sorts of people who are desperate to pretend like they believe the lies. I'm convinced that most of the folks that say they don't believe that global warming is a thing actually just believe that global warming is a thing they won't have to deal with, and they're wrong. They're wrong in what they are saying out loud, where they say that they think it's not real, and they're wrong that they won't have to deal with it. I often tell the story of reporting in Spring Lake, Michigan, and watching as a house collapsed into Lake Michigan. Because what happened? Extreme erosion caused by a record setting or nearly record setting high water level, followed by a nearly record setting low water level, followed by an actual record setting high water level that causes extreme erosion, and it just ate houses along the coastline. It ate one house in my community and then flooded the community, making a portion of it inaccessible for weeks at a time. I was stacking sandbags with residents to deal with it. Folks, it's here. We're going to be dealing with it. But there are folks who have made a hobby out of denying it. And I do mean a hobby. It's a pastime to try to make the world worse for everybody in every way they can. And one of those ways is by pretending that global warming, aka climate change, aka the thing that will cause the next generation to curse our names, pretending it doesn't exist. Let's have a look. Well, this is from The Guardian. We pull it up over. Yeah? Here, yes. It's from The Guardian. Iowa meteorologist resigns after death threats over climate crisis coverage. Of course. Chris Gloninger says he developed post-traumatic stress disorder and will resign from his job after 18 years at Des Moines' KCCI. It wasn't 18 years there. He had a much more normal career than that. He spent 18 years as a TV meteorologist and bounced around to, I think, 7 stations. An Iowa meteorologist says he is resigning from the television station where he works because he developed post-traumatic stress disorder after threats over his climate change coverage. I have to clarify, he's not just resigning from that station. I mean, yes, that's why he is resigning from that specific station. He's resigning from the business. He's getting out of it. On Wednesday, Chris Gloninger, the chief meteorologist at Des Moines' CBS TV station affiliate KCCI, announced that he will be stepping down from his position, leaving his broadcast career entirely in July. Gloninger said in a statement on Twitter, 18 years, 7 stations, 5 states. I'm bidding farewell to TV to embark on a new journey dedicated to helping solve the climate crisis. Good on him for at least making this, not giving up the fight as a whole. He added, after a death threat stemming from my climate coverage last year and resulting PTSD, in addition to family issues, I've decided to begin this journey now. Yeah, it makes sense. Last July, Gloninger, who has spent 18 years of his career covering climate change as well as the weather, and became KCCI's chief meteorologist in 2021, shared a series of disturbing emails he received regarding his coverage. Let me tell you, when I read these, this read like my daily mail that I would sort through when I was a newsman. My job was frequently involved interacting with the public, and any time we talked about something important, about 2/3 of the mail that came in were just psychopaths who had nothing better to do than bother honest, hard-working folks trying to tell the truth. If you said something that was true, you could be, and had any sort of consequence at all, you could be sure that a bunch of right-wing psychos would feel like it was their appointed duty to bother you and to insist that their ignorance be part of your day. And they felt free to threaten you. I say this having come from stations that received bomb threats. We had to evacuate WDIV once when we got a bomb threat. Well, poor Devin Scillian was on air. By the way, he's a hell of a nice guy. I mean, we endure this stuff constantly, and you know what? They're right to think that there will be no consequences from it, because in my day, which it's more and more in the rearview mirror every day now, in my day, there weren't any consequences. But good news, and that's coming up in this story. Last July, yada yada. One message said, "I don't watch your worthless weather forecast because you're spelled wrong, an idiot." But someone else texted me and said, "You are still an idiot. Go the hell back to where you came from, douchebag." Yeah, there's a real classy guy. Another message said, "Science like Fauci, you dumb SOB. Go east and drown from the ice cap melting, dumb F," referring to President Joe Biden's former chief medical advisor, Anthony Fauci. At least this guy acknowledges that the ice cap is indeed melting, the knucklehead. Sorry. Another particularly distressing email said, "What's your home address? Uh-oh. We conservative Iowans would like to give you an Iowan welcome you will never forget. Kind of like the libtards gave Judge Kavanaugh," all caps again, referring to Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, whose house was surrounded by demonstrators last year to protest the elimination of federal abortion rights. Listen to the difference between these two groups of people. There's the very real issue of federal abortion rights being eliminated. And the reaction to that, a peaceful protest. Versus somebody talking about the reality of climate change and politely telling folks, it's coming for you too, which is reality. And these people are so dedicated to being ignorant trash that they get angry when they are told that they are living wrong. Alongside the email screenshots that he shared last year, Gloninger wrote, "My climate change coverage has garnered negative feedback. But last month I received the first threat, followed by a flow of harassing emails. Here's the good news. Police are investigating, finally. It's mentally exhausting, and at times I have not been okay." I don't blame him, especially if you have kids. Jesus. "If you're facing this and need someone to talk to, I'm here." The threat, of course, was concerning, but the stream of harassing emails is even more distressing. Good Lord, is even more distressing. It means he is thinking about it constantly. He is angry about it and filled with hate. That is such a good point. And it's true. The folks that tend to write in and in and in and in, yeah, they are thinking about it constantly. And yeah, they do tend to be the ones that fly off the handle inevitably. In September, the Iowa Capital Dispatch reported that 63-year-old Danny H. Hancock of Lenox, Iowa, was fined $150 for sending a series of harassing emails to Gloninger. Just a pathetic slap on the wrist. Hancock admitted to sending the emails and was charged with third-degree harassment, according to police. At least it's on his record now. Speaking to the Washington Post recently, Gloninger said, "I was not sleeping. I had bags under my eyes." I feel you, brother. "I don't want to be the news. I wanted to bring awareness to the fact that it's not just me. It's other climate scientists, journalists." Yeah, let's talk about this. What do you say? So look, thing number one that I would encourage you to do regarding this, talk to write into your local news station, and if they do a good job, tell them you think they do a good job. God, they need to hear it, man. They do not get a lot of emails saying, "Thanks, thank you, good work." Especially if they're talking about national issues. If they came into your neighborhood and got the streetlights fixed because they did a report on how long those streetlights have been out, they'll get some emails, and that's good and well, nice. But if they're talking about a national thing, they could do with some attaboys and attagirls. And also encourage them to report on the death threats that they get. Encourage them to be vocal about it, because all of these stations are operating under the belief, the wrong belief, in my opinion, that the mature thing to do is just to suck it up and pretend like they never got it and not blink in their eyes. But that's not what they accomplish when they're silent about these things. What they accomplish is covering up for terrorism. And they put stress on their own employees when they do this, by the way. So I would consider writing your news station, telling them good job when they do good, and also encouraging them to share the threats that they get. Press charges when they get threats every single time. Press charges. Share with their local FBI field office the physical threats that they get. Don't be light on them. If not for themselves, for the fact that by not attending to these, by just allowing people to get away with threatening them, they're endangering the community. The news agencies tend to be the canary in the coal mine for this sort of thing. And when they're silent about this, they allow it to happen to somebody else. Let's see what the wicked community has to say.